Top of the morning, evening, night, or day, ladies and gentlemen. This is me here today on behalf of well-prepared men. And in today's video, I'm going to teach you a skill that I think every well-prepared man should know. And that's how to change a bicycle tire. That sounds right up your alley. Don't forget to stay up until the very end. Roll the intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain, and the following video is for subscribed devices only.
Step number one is to change into your work clothes so you don't get your cool clothes dirty. Every well-prepared man should have a set of work clothes. Now that that's out of the way, all I have to do is grab the bicycle. Okay. This bike over here is a future project. It's a bike that somebody threw away, and I brought it home because I thought, you know what, it'll be entertaining to repair this someday. I apologize for all this, guys, but I need to do these gymnastics in the garage so I have enough space to have all these bicycles and park my car. Okay. Right, guys. After all that, I'm gonna use this bike as an example to show you guys how to swap an inner tube on a bicycle. So step number two, we're gonna flip the bicycle over, and that's gonna give us some more stability to work on removing the inner tube. That's perfect. Okay, so step number three is to not even remove the wheel. We're just gonna basically pop this out using two tools. So I'm gonna use these two tools over here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna poke them underneath and we're gonna lift the tire out like this. I'm gonna hold on to this one. We're gonna put the second tool a little bit further down the road and we're gonna pop the tire out. Now that we already have a chunk out, we can remove the first tool. We can actually hold on to it with our hand and remove it a little bit further down the line. The tire is already popped, so you don't need to be careful with this. You can just put it underneath there and yank it out. So right now, it's so easy to remove that I'm just using my finger instead of the tool. It kind of hurts, so I don't recommend that you do this. You can just basically place the tool here and go along. I'm gonna take out this thing here, which I don't know how to call in English. So I can push the inner tube and it's not stuck to anything on the wheel of the bike. And I'm gonna push the inner tube out. It's a little bit easier said than done. There we go. Now we just go around like this and this should come out without a hitch. We can remove the wheel. It's super easy on these race bikes. The wheel is already loose and ready to come out, I think. There we go. The old inner tire is free. This is the new inner tube for the bike. In total, this job cost me €4.25. It's way easier to do this stuff at home rather than, no. It's way easier to pay someone to do this stuff, but it's way wiser to learn how to do this stuff so you can spend less money and keep more money for the things that you love. Now, all we have to do is put this inner tire in here. This is ginormous, dude. Wow. Totally out of proportion. Yeah, there's the hole. To put this in here, there we go. We're gonna put this ring around it to give it some stability. This is gonna help us maintain direction. We're gonna slide this along, try to go inside the side of the tire that we took off, because it's gonna be easier to slide in. This is how it looks. I'm gonna put this down so it's easier. I'm just basically making sure that the inner tube is touching the top of the tire. I'm just tucking it in basically. I'm tucking in the inner tube. Keep tucking. And don't mind the color of your hands. That's all a part of this process. Okay. It's easy to slide the tire in place. You just basically follow it with your hand like this, and it should be back on the wheel. Now to finish putting in the inner tube. This is the final touch. And there we go. The inner tube is in. Now we just slide the side of the tire that we took off and try to keep the inner tube inside. Again, real easy. Voila! The next step is to put the wheel back on the bike. Super simple. We're gonna step here on the handlebar to give it some more stability. And we're just gonna slide this in there. The wheel is super tight, which is good, and it spins freely. Now we can put these tools away. The next thing we need is an air pump. I have this adapter here, which allows me to use any normal pump on an old bike. So this thing here is a lifesaver. So we're gonna open up this cap here a little bit so the air flows inwards. And we're gonna put this here. Now that we have our adapter in place, we're just gonna inflate the tire a little bit, not too much. I'm gonna close the valve. All we want is a little bit of air here. We're just making sure that the tire is in the right position. And it's good to do this in both directions. We just basically make sure that everything is in its rightful place before we fully inflate the tire, because that could create permanent damage if it's not in its rightful place and it's too inflated. So this is a way to prolong the life of your new inner tube. Turns out the camera stopped recording and I thought we were still rolling, and I now have a full repaired tire. I've needed to inflate this tire, which was the last step. So I'm gonna use the back tire for demonstration purposes. I basically have the adapter that allows me to use any pump on an old bicycle. And I'm just gonna give it some air. Perfection. That pretty much brings us to the very end of this tutorial. I hope you have enjoyed, that you have learned something new, that you tune in for future videos. I'm kind of in a crouched position so you guys can see my head. Have a wonderful day, guys. Peace.